Hey everyone, I'm TJK. Welcome back to our game tutorial. In this one we're going to start working on level 1, and it's mainly to do with terrain creation. And shortly after this one we're going to do a main menu with achievements and ways to unlock those achievements. But for now what I want to do is open up your first level in Unity. Now if you have the block like I did, just delete it. And what we want to do is we want to game object, create other. And I believe terrain should be in here. I think I might be. There it is, down the bottom, terrain. As you can see, it is absolutely massive. Now for our little test level, we don't actually need that big. So we select the terrain, then we click the settings cog. And we scroll down. You see here in the resolution, terrain width, height, length, and height. For now, I'm just going to set it to 200 by 200. Actually, that's still a bit too big. So how about 50 by 50 then? That'll do, for now at least. And you can, if you haven't tried it before, you can hold right click and use WSD to navigate around the terrain as you would normally, or the view camera as you would like playing an FPS game. Now you've got terrain. There's some useful tools. You've got on the left hand side of the toolbar, you've got raise and lower terrain, so you can make mountains. And you've also got loads of different bushes, so you can shape the terrain how you like. You've got the height, so you can paint the height. You've got smooth. You've got paint, so you can paint different textures. You can paint trees on, and you can also paint details like grass and bushes and all the other stuff, like flowers and stuff. But for now, what I'm going to do is I am going to go into the paint texture and click edit textures and add a texture. And now what I want to do is just, when you get this add texture terrain, just click, it says texture here, just select one, type grass in. And you notice you've got grass hill, grass rock, but you've also got like two prefabs. You don't need those, you just need a texture. So I'm just going to go grass hill. Click add. Now that that's in, now that's in. And if we go to the height, you can set the brush size. Mine's 100 at the moment. It really doesn't matter. But I am, however, gonna just I'm gonna hold shift. No, you can't. Yeah, just paint a terrain. Just click and drag and it paints it. If you want to change how sharp these go up, just change your opacity down. I'll have it as 10. And just create some mountains. Just going to do them around the edges. It's not a very big map, but hopefully you get the idea. Now I'm going to raise the height. So the height's going to be 1. So raise all the height to 1. And there's actually a main reason why I'm doing this, but it's because I want to add some water in. I think a little gully right around there will be good. Hold shift to lower the terrain on the raise and lower terrain tooltip. With that done, I'm going to go back to the paint And I'm going to paint some sand in. So when I edit textures, add a texture, same as you did before. There's not sand in there. Let's have a look through these. Good dirt seems to be a good one, I guess. Then what you do is select it. You can see which one's selected by a blue line underneath. And if you want it to automatically change straight to the text you have, just turn the opacity to 100. But for blending realistically, you want to have it about 48-ish. That way you can sort of blend it around the edges. Now with that in, let's put some trees in. So we click edit trees and add tree just like you would do before, and on here it says tree, no game object. Just click and just find a tree. There's palm trees here. I'll go with some big trees. Click add, and then I'm going to change the tree density down to about 12. And the brush size down to about 14. If you want to remove a tree you've placed, just hold down shift and click. I'm going to change that down even more to 2. Change the tree density up a bit more. Because I've got such a small brush. Tree density is up a bit. And I've got a tree out of place here. Put it there instead. I've got some trees in. Let's paint some grass. So click the paint details, edit details, add grass texture, and then change the detail. And then we could just type grass in again. And I'm going to select this grass. I'm not going to put too much in because just do little small clicks. It does add a lot of grass in. You can change the values here to make it better. Now with that all done, I want to paint another texture, so I'm going to add textures, and I'm just going to click rock, and it's going to be cliff layer, I think. With that selected, I'm going to change the brush size down to about 23, and I'm just going to paint some of the edges of my mountains I've got. Just to make it all blend. You can spend a lot more time on this than I am. As you can see, some of these mountains are really sharp. I'm only going to do a few that the player can actually see. That's alright. And now what I want to do is add a game object, create empty. Oh, I don't want to create empty, sorry. What I want to do is, if you import standard assets like I did, go to water basic, do like water simple. There we go, put it in. Make sure you select the proper tools and just drag that up a bit. So that's in there. I will do a tutorial on how to make better water. And to top it all off, if you have a main camera in the scene, just delete it. And then what we're going to do is in standard assets, character controller, first person controller, just drag them on anywhere you want to position him. And make sure he is above the ground. And the first person controller, on the main camera of the first person controller, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the audio video script. And then I'm going to select the main camera and put it on there. There we go. And click apply, so the prefab's saved. If you click play, you can run around. Doesn't look too great at the moment, but what I will do is what I'm going to do is then, if you want to add a skybox or something behind, click edit, render settings, and then when you click render settings, skybox material, click a little dot next to it, and type in sky. And mine's going to be a sunny skybox. Now with that skybox done, what we have to do is create game object, create other, directional light. Now, a directional light, you can position it anywhere you want, and I'm going to just use soft shadows. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this a bit. I'm going to have receive shadows on the mesh renderer for the water as well. And if you want, click graphics on your first person controller and click receive and cast shadows as well. Then click play. As you're running around, you can see that your character now creates shadows, and the trees have created shadows and everything. Alright, I believe this is a little playground now we can play around with and do our next lot of scripting in. So I shall see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.